So I'm pricking out my chili peppers today and my early sweet peppers, and I'm pretty pleased with them actually. They're looking really nice. I'll just show you them close up. There you go. And they are, how many days old? Not very far, not very, just under 3 weeks old at the moment, and the first true leaves are just starting to show. And I'm only doing 2 trays. So I'm doing 1 tray of Anaheim and I'm doing 1 tray of jalapeno. So, and that is it. That's the total number of chili peppers that I'm doing this year. So not very many. We don't, to be honest, we don't eat that many. And these are both pretty big, especially Anaheim, but it's a pretty big pepper, so it goes a long way. Small number of plants go a long way. This year we were just kind of overwhelmed with them, so we're just being a bit more sensible this year. We ended up giving masses away as well last year, so I don't mind giving things away, but the challenge is just having enough windowsill space to keep them all healthy. So what I decided to do this year is, as I said, just do like a much smaller number of them, and just do them that little bit earlier so that I get a bigger crop, and yeah, hopefully that works out well. So I did, these are all old seeds as well, so all from packets that I opened this year, and yeah, pretty much all of them germinated. So I've actually got loads of spare chili peppers now, which I'll be able to use for next year, I guess. So now I'm on to the jalapeno. I'm pleased with the roots. I don't know whether you can see the roots on this video. I'll show you them in a second, but I'm pleased I didn't leave them any longer. I was thinking that I could leave them quite a bit longer, but that is a pretty good little root system. And I'll just talk a bit about the compost that I'm using. So I'm just using seed compost this time for this pricking out, and then obviously I will use proper potting compost for the next succession, for the next potting on. But I don't want them to grow too quickly, and so a low nutrient seed compost I think is going to be absolutely fine. And the reason I don't want them to grow too quickly is just because you know, there's not a lot of light around at the moment, and although I have got them under grow lights, they won't be under grow lights for that long. I like to sort of quite quickly move them into either natural light or kind of half and half, so a bit of grow light time, but mostly kind of natural light. So we'll see how they go, and obviously I can always give them a bit of fertiliser if there's a problem, but I should imagine they'll be in these for 6 to 8 weeks now probably, and they will probably be slightly short of nutrients by then, but a little bit of seaweed and whatever should see them through. So that's all of those done, and loads of spares. Now I did also do Hungarian hot wax, just to show you not all the old seed germinated, so I'm not that bothered about that. That's fine. So these are the early sweet peppers that I'm doing, and again these are looking pretty nice. I'm quite pleased with them. They're not quite as far on as the chili peppers, but then they germinated a little bit later, so Anyway, I'm going to get these done. So I'm doing long yellow Ringo and long red Marconi and just a couple of lunchbox peppers as my early ones, and I chose those varieties, lunchbox ones, just because we've never grown them before, so I'm kind of keen to see what they're like. And I think in this early sowing I'll probably actually get some in kind of probably May, and so then we get to see how we like them before we end up committing a lot of bed space to them. If we don't like them very much, then we don't have to plant them. So the main reason I'm doing the long yellow Ringo and the long red Marconi is because we look at the roots on that. Is because we found this year that we had a huge early crop and a huge late crop, but the late crop in October we couldn't get ripened, so I figure that by starting them a month earlier, just a few, just this early batch, hopefully I'll get that late crop ripened. So I'm going to do 6 long yellow Ringos, and it's the same story with the long red Marconi. Again, loads and loads of them, nice and early, and by early I don't mean that early, I mean July, and then loads more, well, all through July and August we got the early ones, and then the late crop kind of came September, October, but it's pretty hard to get all your peppers ripened in October, so I'm hoping that this time we'll get a few earlier ones, so maybe early July, and then that the late crop will come in September, and that will give me plenty of time to get that all ripened off. Notice that I'm planting them deep. Now I know that some books say you can't plant peppers deep, but you can. When the seedlings like this, they seem to be perfectly happy being planted deep. And I just want them as stocky as I can get them. Again, given the light levels, that seems a prudent thing to do. So there we go. I've got my early peppers. I'm really fussy with these. Really great. And I've ended up with quite a few spare, and I thought that might happen. So I am going to do one more tray. And I'll have those lunchbox peppers in it. I'm kind of already, I'm kind of breaking my own rules and growing more than I'd planned to. And I kind of promised myself I wouldn't do that this year because I only have space for 48 sweet peppers and about, I don't know, 12 chili peppers. And I ended up growing some ridiculous amount, maybe 90 or something like that in total last year. And I think, to find winner's till space for all of those and then give loads of them away. And so it was kind of ridiculous, really. Windowsill space is just too much at a premium to be wasting it on plants you don't need. Right, there we go. So that's all done. So filled bits with that. So I'm just going to water those in with nice lukewarm water, and they are going actually on the top of a wardrobe, which is where is my warmest and brightest spot in the house at this time of year. So yeah, I hope you like this quick little bonus video. See you soon.